Hi, class! Welcome to week 6, the final week of this course. Can you believe we have made it there? Many of you have already started to post your discussion posts, but I'd like to take a few minutes to just prepare us for this ending of this course. Firstly, thank you for providing such thoughtful feedback towards your peers on your papers. Many of you did a great job of identifying both areas and sections of the papers that could use an adjustment in regarding the content, or could have skipped over a couple important aspects of the paper, or could go into depth in certain areas and were more specific about that, as well as providing some useful tips in regards to the writing, organization, or formatting of your peers' papers. So thank you for that. Some of you had some really great ideas for your peers. I hope you've provided each other with that information so you can soak it in and incorporate what fits for you to wanting to adjust and edit your paper, and that you're kind of doing your own final edits of your final paper. This week we're looking at neurodevelopmental and cognitive disorders, so that includes any intellectual disability, Alzheimer's, attention deficit disorder, and anything that has to do with delays in intellectual functioning and developmental delays. We'll be going into depth about those, and obviously there are elements of cognitive neuroscience that helps us more recently understand some changes in the brain that occur with some of these disorders as well, and ways in which we test and assess for these disorders is typically a little different than other psychological disorders. And we'll be taking a look at how, especially with these disorders, but also other persistent and severe mental health disorders, there can be a lot of ethical issues that arise when an individual presents themselves in these ways and may have, for example, challenges with competency and with being able to make some decisions for themselves. It gets confusing, and it's important for them to be safe and to be not at risk of hurting themselves or others. And sometimes it's unintentional where they are at because of their functioning, and the court of law has to make decisions regarding their well-being and functioning. So often there are psychologists and neuropsychologists that will do really important capacity evaluations, looking at the difference between capacity and competency, and can they make their health decisions? Can they make financial decisions? Can they take care of their independent living skills? So those things often get addressed in a really in-depth assessments, also usually with other cognitive tests to determine that person's abilities. So anyway, you'll be thinking about ethical dilemmas. You'll be thinking about the 5 ethical principles as you are working on your discussion post and other assignment this week, coming up with a case study a little bit or an ethical dilemma with your discussion post and answering the questions that are there. And please have fun with your work this week. I think we're winding down. Hopefully your final paper is in a really, really good place. So then you can spend a little more time on that other paper that is there for you. Don't hesitate to answer any questions or ask me any questions that you might have. But this week is really about the future and kind of where you see things going, both ethically, in legal capacities, and how technology may shape or frame our practice in the future. It's been a real pleasure working with you all. I hope you're staying safe and doing your best to balance your work and self-care as best you can. And we are winding down. Work cannot be submitted late week 6. So be mindful of that. Because of having to have final grades in and such. So please be on time with your work this week too, and be, mindful of all of the guidelines regarding late work. And if you have another course with me, that's great. I will hopefully be continuing to teach, and we'll be working with you soon. Take care, and best of luck with your future endeavors. Bye.